Okay, so let's talk consultations. Now, I know some people offer consultations and some people don't offer consultations. We do, and we offer them free of charge. I know it's time out of your diary, but actually, I've never had a consultation that hasn't booked a treatment. Sometimes I feel consultations are really good just to invite your client in, have a chat with them, they get to know you, they can see the clinic, they can see it's all nice and clean, and it's not a dingy, grotty little place. um, so yeah, I think it's important. I think they want to come in, they want to have a chat. Like if someone's never had permanent makeup before, it is a big commitment. It's not just going to get your nails or lashes done. And you need to realise that a lot of clients are very nervous. And I think most of my consultations, they've already made their mind up, but they come in because they just want a little bit more reassurance and then they're ready to commit. So I would 100% recommend offering free consultations. Now, I know some people offer them and they'll charge for them and then deduct that off the price if they book, which again is absolutely fine. But I just think 15, 20 minutes of my time, if it means I've now secured a client booking in, it was worth it. It also gives you a chance to get to know your client before they book. So, it just saves me time on the actual treatment time. So we'll look at photographs. I've got like a browse book with, like a photo book with all pictures of my work, different styles. So we'll have a look in that. Or I'll grab the iPad, pull Instagram up. Or sometimes they've screenshot photos from Instagram with styles that they like. So get a feel for what they want. What's the best technique and finish for their skin type? At least then they know what to actually book in for. I don't tend to pre-draw the brows on a consultation as a standard thing. I do feel it can be quite time consuming and I can never guarantee that I'm going to draw that exact brow a second time round. But if again, I do have a really nervy client, she just can't imagine a different shape of brow, which I normally find is the slightly older clients with the rounded natural brows, and I'm talking about, putting an arch in, flattening this bit, and they just can't picture it. Then I'll draw one brow. I won't spend ages matching the other one up. I'll just say to her, when you come in, this is what we'd do. I'd map and measure where your brows should naturally sit. I'd draw them in. We'd match them up. We'd tweak them. You'd have a look. We'd keep tweaking. So I tell them what the actual treatment will entail. But in a consultation, I'd only ever draw one side on, just purely from a time thing, and it just gives them more of an idea of what you're looking, or what you can see for them. So I definitely find once I've done that and they're like, oh wow, yeah, what a difference. Again, it's another, yep, book me in. And I think they just really appreciate you just giving up a little bit of your time to see them, explain the treatment, listen to their concerns. You really have to listen to your clients, and you really have to come across like, that you care and that you're there to help them. You're not there to just book them in and get their money. Sometimes I feel like it's the whole way that we come across that's going to guarantee they then book in with you. So you always, even when you're on your Facebook and you're messaging people, don't try and hard sell, because a lot of people don't like it and they run a mile. You ask them questions about them. Like, you have to make it all about them and listen to them. It's so important, and it's something that you should be implementing into your consultations as well. If they've come for a consultation, they're already aware of your business, they know what you do, they obviously like what you do. So then it's the way that you portray yourself, if that makes sense. So before they come in for their actual consultation, I would have already made sure they'd completed a medical health questionnaire, so I know there's no contraindications present. We do their patch test at the consultation, and I would kind of just go through the treatment with them. So what to expect when you come in. When you come in, I talk about anaesthetics as well. I say we're not allowed to pre-numb here. So these are the ones that are available over the counter. If you want to buy them, you can. I'm just very careful with how I word it. I don't say you have to go and buy it. I won't recommend how they apply it. I will say to them, these are available, you know, in Boots and pharmacies. If you do choose to do it, you need to make sure you read the leaflet, you follow the guidelines. So I'm not advising them on that because I'm not applying it. I want the liability from it. So then I'll say to them, you know, when you come in, we'll clean the area, I'll measure your brows, I draw a shape on that I think is going to suit your face. Then I'll sit you up and we will tweak it. And I say to my clients, you know, I will spend as long as I need to tweaking that pre-draw until you are 100% happy with it. If you're not happy with anything, we don't go ahead. And again, it's just reassuring them, making sure they know they've still got that control in the appointment. We'll talk about colours. I'll say to them, I'll show you the colours that I would recommend for your skin. But obviously you can say to me if it's too dark, if it's too light, and we'll work together on finding the perfect colour for you. Then I'll say to them, you know, this is how long we'll be tattooing for on average. I talk to them about the healing process and the aftercare that we're going to give them, all their do's and don'ts. Like I literally will just sit and go through the whole kind of treatment run through with them, what to expect, how long it's going to last. Give them all of the information so they can then make an informed choice. And I do say to them, you know, have a look at different artists. You have to find someone's style of work that you like and go for consultations. Like I say to them, don't just book with the first person that you see, you have to be sure. And it's nice to actually go and meet a few artists and make up your own mind on who you think is going to be best for you. Like I don't do the whole pushy, right, you've had your consultation, let's book in. I try and be very open with people. And actually I find that then they book in with me anyway. So yeah, it's just the way you go about things, I think. I've had clients come for consultations with me and they've pulled out their phone and they've got pictures up of brows they really like, and I'm expecting them to show me one of my Insta pics and it's someone else's work. So again, I would say to them, do you know what? If that is the kind of style that you love, you are way better going to that artist. Like I'm not that artist. And this is what I try and really get across to them, especially if they pull up a style that I don't do, like it doesn't resemble my work in any shape or form, then I would just say to them, if you prefer that to my photos, then you need to go to that artist. It's nice to have healed photos as well, I think, to show clients in consultations, you know, show them the process. This is what they're going to look like immediately after. This is what they're going to look like when they've healed and toned down. Because again, especially if they're quite nervy, they want to really, I do get a lot of clients that come to me that want them to look very natural. I think because that's the style that I put out, that's my preferred style. That is the clients that I then attract, obviously. So a lot of my consultations, I find I'm actually trying to reassure them that they are going to settle, they are going to soften. We're going to keep them looking really natural. Whereas if your style is a lot kind of bolder than mine, you may find you're attracting different clients. And so your consultations may go in a slightly different direction to mine. But yeah, I just think consultations are really important. It gives that client that reassurance. It lets them meet you, get a feel for you. I'm super, super blunt and honest in consultations, and you know, if I don't think something is going to be achievable, I will just tell them, especially if it's a correction. For instance, if someone's had PMU done elsewhere and then they want to book in for us, I will not book them in without seeing them in person, because sometimes I think permanent makeup can look very different in photographs. So I like to see them in person. And again, you know, I'll be upfront and honest with them. This is what I can do, or this is what I can't do. This is what I would recommend. I don't ever sugarcoat anything. I just want them to be fully prepared, and actually sometimes I probably prepare them for the worst so that when they don't get that, I don't ever have any problems because they've already kind of been prepared for it. So yeah, we do get clients that don't want consultations, like they've made their mind up, they want to book in with us, they know what's involved, or they know people that have been to us already, and that's absolutely fine. If they don't want to book in for a consultation, they've not had permanent makeup before, I will discuss those things with them on the day of their appointment and we pop a patch test out in the post to them. Especially, like, we get people that travel quite far to come here as well, and they don't want to do that journey just to come and have a chat with me. So that's absolutely fine. So we offer them, the only time they are mandatory is if they have old colour. Then I really do need to see them in person to decide what the best plan of action will be for them.